Nintendo just dropped a massive new eShop sale, and it's one of the best I have seen now in a while, especially if you're a fan of anything Devolver Digital, who make up a fair chunk of today's discounts. Now, as always, this video it's focusing on discounts coming in under $10 or your local currency, and I'm going to be covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. My name's Alex, so this is SwitchCorner. Let's get started. I do have a winner to announce in for a $10 eShop gift card later in the video, and one more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and the winner will be announced in next week's video. Also, if you are grabbing anything, consider using cornershop.gg for your eShop credit. They are instant delivery via email, and it does support the channel. Katana Zero is one of my favourite games from Devolver Digital on the Switch. Now, it's currently 40% off, that's matching the low price. And this one, it's a neo-noir action platformer, and it is all about strategy. Basically, you'll enter different locations and face off against groups of enemies that can kill you with one hit. Now, if you do die, the game immediately loads you back in, and then you'll be able to leverage skills such as slowing down time. What sets Katana Zero apart, however, for me, it was the story. You'll uncover your character's past through a series of what I'd call intriguing twists. It also packs just an incredible soundtrack and these neon washed visuals. Now, if you are interested in exploring more of Devolver Digital's games on the Switch, check out my top 10 Devolver Digital list in the pinned comment below. My Friend Pedro is another great game from Devolver Digital. It's currently on sale at 75% off, and that is a new low price. In this game, you'll be embarking on a violent ballet of destruction, taking down anyone who stands in your way, all at the order of a sentient banana. Now, what sets this game apart is its impressive flexibility in character movement, and then what it calls the split aiming system. It basically allows you to pull off all sorts of acrobatic maneuvers that will leave you impressed. Definitely takes some time getting used to it, but do stick with it. And then it also leverages things such as slow motion mechanics to really enhance the destruction, making each kill, feel suitably over the top. Overall, this one is unique, and I do think it is well worth a look. Inertial Drift, while I'm on split control schemes, and this is racing with a twin stick system, and that works incredibly well. In fact, I'd say this is one of the best implementations of drifting in any video game out there. It feels absolutely fantastic. I also love the cel-shaded style they did go with. What I didn't like was that the story was weak, a group of friends on a journey encouraging each other. I want competition, not someone congratulating me when I do overtake them. Additionally, all competitors, they are ghost cars, which is disappointing once you do realise that you can fly straight through them. It definitely takes away some of the tension for the races, all for the sake of just making it easier. It's 60% off, that is a new low price, and my full review is in the pinned comments. Nexomon Extinction is 50% off, matching the low price. It's a Pokemon clone, and I do think it's one of the better ones. The first game was for phones only initially, but this release was bigger in scope and intended for consoles as well. One of the things I love about this game is the adult-orientated story, which centers around the idea that not all Nexomon are cute and cuddly. Instead, you're actually tasked with taking on tyrants and battling through challenging encounters that can actually last a while. Although some elements of the game's phone routes may be evident, such as weak speech bubble effects, I really enjoyed this game and I do highly recommend it. If you're interested in checking out the first game, also the re-release is on sale right now for a new low price. Overall though, I do think Nexomon Extinction offers a great Pokemon-like experience, and my full review is in the pinned comments. Creature in the Wild is a unique game. In fact, I can't name another quite like it. The idea here is it's a top-down pinball-inspired hack-and-slash dungeon crawler. We are the last remaining Bot C unit, and we must make our way to an ancient facility to restore power to this location. We are being hunted at the same time, and along the way we'll basically be playing pinball with swords to reactivate the machinery and stop an incoming sandstorm. Along the way, expect 20 unique items, including upgradable weapons, and yeah, this one is good fun, and it doesn't get enough love in my opinion. It's matching the low currently then with 50% off. Minit is another Devolver Digital release, and here we get 80% off. That is a new low price. It's an adventure game that's played 60 seconds at a time. The story, we've been cursed to live in this smaller time loop, and we must now try to get out. Along the way, explore this world extremely quickly, meet the locals and help them, find their secrets, and figure out essentially what is happening. Definitely a bite-sized experience. You'll probably wrap it up in a couple of hours, but I'm a big fan, and I particularly like the old school Game Boy-esque black and white visuals. Evergate is another game that doesn't get enough love, so I do like to recommend it. It's a Twitch platformer, somewhat similar to games like Meat Boy, but nowhere near as difficult. Now here we are tasked with trying to get home by traversing the afterlife, but there's another spirit here that we may have a bond to. Surprisingly intriguing story in this one, and the game's core mechanic, the Soul Flame, I really do like. Basically, you can slow down time and change direction using it in mid-air. The overall goal is simple: clear 85 levels by collecting up orbs scattered around each. It's topped off then with stunning visual design and an orchestral soundtrack. Also, it's a new low of 75% off, and I do think that is a steal. Monster Energy Supercross 3 is just a quick mention, 90% off, well worth it for Supercross fans. It was the last entry to arrive on the Switch before they did transition away from the hardware. It is not perfect, but it's still packing a lot to like, including the best handling yet and an extensive career mode. Problems on the Switch: the race field is reduced and the whips are too floaty, but you cannot go wrong with this new low price. It's honestly just the best choice you do have on the system. Check out my full review in the pinned comment. Neon Abyss then gets a new low price of 65% off. We've seen this on sale quite a lot recently, so it's good to see it now going south with its price just a little bit more. A run and gun roguelike, it puts you in the role of the Grim Squad who must enter the Abyss and hunt down new gods. Where this one excels is in the item synergies that will add new effects that can be stacked to help you in between runs. Throw on top of this then some seriously creative weapons and even pets that can accompany you to help out, and yeah, it's definitely good stuff. My main complaint: visually, I do like it. I especially like the bar between runs, but I do gotta say here, it does get a little repetitive and it could have done with a bit more, in the way of variety. The Legend of Tianding then is a side-scrolling action platformer that blends in some minor Metroidvania influences, namely it's not always linear and new abilities will unlock new areas. In between this then there's also an open world to explore. Now the latter is in between missions, and I gotta say here it gets a little dull due to the 2D design. It's a lot of back and forth, but where it really does succeed is just an interesting lead, that story, and the levels themselves and boss encounters just great fun with a control scheme that feels nice and fast. Along the way as well, expect a slew of power-ups, and there's even a mini-game centered around a traditional Taiwanese board game. It wasn't for me personally, but it may be for you. My full review is below, but it's back matching the low here with 50% off, and recently they even added in a free update with a boss rush mode. Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, gets a new low of 85% off, and for those screaming dooms on sale too, it featured in last Thursday's under $10 video, but this one's another fantastic port. I'm a big fan of this world, as we find ourselves on a mission to spark the Second American Revolution by killing everyone in sight in, of course, what is this alternate history. The story can get quite dark, particularly the opening moments of the game, but the gunplay is great, it looks good on the Switch, and it's another one where it's simply impressive that they even got it to run on the hardware. Just beware of that install size, it's not a small game, and you can also get Youngblood on sale right now too, which was kind of a spin-off, gets a lot of stick, but it was a co-op centered affair, and I do think for its current price it is actually, not all that bad. Arcade Spirits then will be for the visual and novel fans. I really like this series. I've reviewed both entries in fact, so find those videos below. The idea is simple: you go to work at an arcade and you must restore it to its former glory. This setting, it's an alternate reality where arcades are still extremely popular, and we are aided in our mission by what is an AI assistant. You'll meet a likeable cast of characters along the way. There are romance options if that is your thing, but I do think overall it's a good one. Just don't expect tons of gameplay here. It's more, reading with the occasional location or dialogue option choice. It's 85% off then, and that is a new low price. Enter the Gungeon is Devolver again. Told you they had a lot on offer this week, and this might be one of their most popular releases ever, and for good reason. The game is incredible, and now it's getting a new low here of 60% off. It's a bullet hell dungeon crawler with roguelike elements, and you'll control one of multiple Gungeoneers who are looking to find a magical gun that can kill the past. Incredibly challenging, but good fun. It's really about mastering the dodge, roll, and invincibility frames, and it packs this incredible selection of weapons. It also received a sequel as well, Exit, which was side-scrolling, but it couldn't match the quality of this one, and in my opinion, Enter is a must-buy. Our winner of the week then is going to Cody, who shouted out Fallen Metal Furies. It was a popular one last week, which was great to see. Congrats to Cody. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. New Super Lucky's Tale is one of the best classic 3D platformers on the Switch, but it's also kind of been one of the more expensive ones out there, so it's often overlooked. Finally, however, we see a sizable drop and a new low price here of 70% off, and it is now well worth it. It also has a demo on the eShop if you do want to check it out first. The story: we're on an adventure through a magical book, we're looking for the missing pages so we can stop an evil sorcerer. Where it really succeeds is just variety, tons of collectibles, secrets, a great cast to meet, and occasionally even it switches things up to 2D. Controls are fantastic though, I am a big fan, and the price here is easily worth it. Loop Hero is our final game of the video, 60% off, a new low price, and again it's Devolver. This is one of my favourite releases from them in recent memory. Incredibly addictive and challenging, this one. You can basically see my full review in the pinned comment, which I do suggest that it is quite complex. The idea though, you are not the hero, rather you are, let's say, the dungeon master. You'll be placing cards that represent enemies, buildings and terrain, all to help this hero stuck in the loop level up. Once leveled, you can then strategically face off against a boss encounter. As you go though, you'll be uncovering loot, you'll upgrade, and hopefully you'll be able to escape this loop. It's incredibly difficult as you do try it again, but I think the Switch is the perfect home for the game, and I cannot wait to see now what they do with the concept next. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library? Let me know in the comments below. A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.